Hello, folks. It is time for some more Hobby Nightmares. We have a retro background today because I just felt like it was that kind of a day. We've got a big day tomorrow. In surgery on my neck. It's not something I'm looking forward to. Don't mean to trauma dump on you guys, but it's the day before now, and things are becoming very, very real. Extremely real. But at the same time, you know, every single one of the people involved in it have told me it's as routine for them as making a cup of coffee. So, you know, like I'm being a big baby. I know I'm being a big baby, and it's going to be fine. Going under general, though, is something that I don't know if you guys have had any fears in your life. If you have any, like, irrational fears or just normal fears. Going under general and having people do things to me whilst I'm asleep is one of my biggest fears. It's like, what if you... I'm not even going to say it, right? You know what I mean? But what if something goes wrong? What if I've got no control over it, you know? And I'm a big control freak. I'm somebody who likes to have things in my life going the way I want them to go, or I want them to be... Everything needs to be in its place, you know? And giving up control like that is terrifying to me. I don't know if anybody else out there has the same sort of feeling. But anyway, I will be in surgery tomorrow. I'm going to be at the hospital for around 9 a.m. Well, no, I'll be in the hospital for 7:30 a.m. and I think I'll be in surgery from 9 until like 10 a.m. The surgery takes like an hour and a half, you know, and then I should be out the same day. If I am, it shouldn't affect my vocal cords, so if I'm not completely conked, I may be popping on to do a live stream, or I may leave it. I probably will, because the missus will shout at me if she catches me doing a live stream. And I'll probably be off on Friday as well. So there will be no video on Friday this week. Mainly because I don't know how my body's going to react to being under general anaesthetic. I might be fine, or I might be conked out, or I might be, needing a bit of time to recover. So it's best that I just take the day on Friday. I would love to do a stream or to do a video, but it is what it is. There will be a video tomorrow on Thursday, as usual, and it will be about Ultramarines fatigue. I've just literally finished recording that one, so that'll be with you tomorrow. And yeah, all will be well. Let's jump into some Hobby Nightmares, shall we? First with Mike. How's it going, dude? He says, "Hi, Lord North." Hi, Mike. You can call me Mike. Alright. Thank you for providing such amazing content. I've been binge watching the Hobby Nightmare playlist on your channel. It is a huge playlist. Over 400 videos and growing. I've got to add stuff to it. That I've not added to it in like 4 or 5 months now. This is my second time writing in. The first was when I sent in my custom Legion or chapter, Camelot's Heart, and I'm waiting to hear your thoughts. It's in the pipeline, mate. Yeah, I recognise the name. This isn't exactly a Hobby Nightmare, but it could become one. I'm looking for some advice. I played Warhammer 40k casually over the years, on and off. Eventually, I found I was just happy painting miniatures and creative narrative 1,500 point armies for myself. Now to my dilemma though. I was painting a Necron kill team for a friend when my 6-year-old niece, let's call her Neve, not a real name, saw what I was doing. She came over to show me a picture she had drawn for me. I noticed the curiosity in her eyes and immediately thought, oh no, my sister is going to hate me for this. I knew exactly what question was coming. Uncle Mike, what are those? I couldn't avoid the question, so I answered honestly. These are Warhammer 40k models I'm painting for a friend, I said. Then came the next one. Do you play games with those? While pointing at the Necrons. I explained, yes, it's a game where you play against somebody else with these miniatures. Long story short, I promised my niece I would teach her kill team. Okay, 6 years old is young, dude. That is very young. This kid can't even go into Games Workshop. Or they're not supposed to be allowed in Games Workshop. I think it's 11 or above, like secondary school age or above. I've seen Games Workshop staff actually turn down doing introduction games to kids below that age. But I don't feel bad about this. Like, listen, my missus has nephews, and I give them White Dwarfs for free. Because I think it's funny. You know, I just think it's funny. There's going to be a Christmas one year Where they're going to go to the mother and go, I want these, and there's £300 worth of models on there. It's like, right? Then I've got more opponents. It's awesome. Since then, I've been taking time between work and being ill. Well, sorry to hear about that. To paint 2 kill teams. I even used ChatGPT to create simple but fun rules so the game would be easier for her. I've attached them here. About a week ago, my younger sister, my niece's mother, asked me, Mike, is it Warhammer 40,000 you're going to be playing with Neve? I told her, yeah, it's Kill Team. It's a smaller version of the game. Immediately, I got the eye roll and the unspoken, oh great, I don't want my daughter playing this. I'm still planning to play the game with my niece because I made her a promise, and she's at the age where promises really do matter, but I don't want this to become an issue with my sister. Do you have any advice on how to avoid conflict or to reassure her? Thank you, Mike. Well, first of all, it would be really advantageous for me to know what her concerns are first. If it's monetary, then I think you might have to take that burden on, dude. Like, if you want this girl to be into the hobby and her mum can't afford the models, you may have to say, look, for Christmas this year, I will get her own box set, right? I will get her own, like, small Necron force or small... just one box Necrons is enough for Kill Team, right? One small box. So maybe spend 30 quid, get her a box of Necrons or whatever her army is that she wants to play in Kill Team, and go from there, right? Take this kid under your wing and make her your little pet project. That's what I would do if I were you. And that's only if your sister really can't afford it. Like, if your sister's going, look, I'm a single mother, can't really afford it, hardly making ends meet, that's when you step in as a good uncle and you say, hey, no, don't worry about that, I'll do it. My uncle did the same thing with me. We couldn't afford to go to the Everton games a lot, right? And my mum was like, please don't get him too into football, we can't afford it. And my uncle was like, no, don't be silly, I will pay for it. Like, he was doing very well, he said, no, I'll pay for it. He got me my tickets, he got me Everton shirts, he got me all these different things, and eventually, when I got into Warhammer, it was also around Christmas, he was the one getting me all the Lord of the Rings stuff and all these other things that I never thought that I could get. My grandparents stepped in too, like, no, we will get him a season ticket to go with his granddad, right? And then I would go with my granddad to watch the games. I didn't really value it at the time. I really enjoyed it, but now I really do value those memories. You know what I mean? Those memories are incredibly precious to me. So that is something that I think you need to step in here and say, well, I'm going to be the cool uncle then. I will tell her, look, I will teach her the game, and if she wants to do it away from this, like after this, then that is my responsibility. I will make her a promise on her birthday or Christmas, which is coming up, of course. If she likes the Necrons or whatever army she likes, I will buy her a small set. I will build them and paint them with her, and then we can play Kill Team whenever she's around at my house or wherever, we get a chance to. It's, beyond that, what the positive effects of 40k are, right? It teaches kids really good mental arithmetic. It teaches them teamwork. It teaches them hand-eye coordination. It brings out their creative sides. And as John Stallard said in an interview the other week, kids will devour books. And they've never read a book in their life. They've never, ever read a book. And all of a sudden, they're devouring these books and wanting more and more and more of these books going forward. So bring that to your sister's attention. Take the financial burden of it away. This is a 6-year-old kid. She's not going to be collecting a full army of Necrons. It'll be one box. And you'll be lucky if she builds and paints that, right? So what I would do, I'd be the cool uncle. I'd take on the burden yourself. Say, look, I introduced this. I will manage it. It's not your problem, right? And here's the positive effect of getting into 40k at any age. If you still don't want me to do it, I won't, but I really don't want to break this promise to her. I want to be the cool uncle. Any mother would go, cool. Awesome. Okay, I trust you. Okay. Right? That's what I would do. I even show her this video. All right, Mike's sister. I know his name's not Mike, but Mike's sister. Telling you now, all that stuff I just said is what he wants to say to you, but he can't. All right? So listen to the dulcet tones. I'm hypnotizing you with my lovely voice. Let your daughter do 40k. Let your daughter do 40k. Isn't it nice? Look at the nice shiny Necron models. All right, and you're back in the room. Cool. Let's go do some 40k. Let's have some fun. All right. We have a Yeet has gotten back to us, ladies and gentlemen. Yeet, I will be getting back to you in terms of a written response. Please add me on Discord. You know where I am. Add me on Discord and we'll have a little chat. But he wrote in as a response to his hobby nightmare the other day when I gave him my response. This is somebody who has paranoid schizophrenia, has been struggling. He destroyed his own Warhammer army. I think it was Slaneshi Warhammer army. And he also collects Iron Warriors. And I called him Perturabo. I said, mate, you're very Perturabo-like. I think that's a very good, apt selection that you made for your army. And he's written in again. And he's taken on the name of Perturabo. So good for you, son. Good for you. He says, hello again, North. You have the right to air this on Hobby Nightmares if you wish, and I will. But I would like a written response. You will be getting one. Just message me. It's Perturabo, formerly known as Yeet. It's a throwaway email, hence the funny name. No worries. Thank you for the brutally honest smackdown you gave me. I wouldn't have known it was that bad if you hadn't. It was necessary for me to hear that, and as I said before, thanks. Okay, yeah, I did get a bit of a smattering in the comments for being like overly harsh. I don't think I was. I think I was honest. And some people need to hear it, right? And yeah, I just felt that you needed to hear it. I think your reaction to losing games at a tournament was over the top, but we won't get into that right now. It's strange, because the moment I smashed up those chariots, it felt right, but also strange. Normally I wouldn't do something like this, and never to my prized Iron Warriors. I thought that since Old World was a secondary game to me, then why wouldn't I do it? And in the moment, what I felt was, well, these people clearly don't appreciate all the time I put into the hobby, so why would I even bother with any of this? Okay? That's the thing though, Perturabo. By smashing up your own chariots, your own army, which of the people at that tournament has that affected? Yeah. Nobody. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. In fact, you'd probably be laughed at. They'd probably laugh, go, what? He's done what? Dude, he just lost a game of Warhammer. What the hell's wrong with this guy, right? Like that would be their response. Okay? The only person you're hurting by getting rid of those models is you. That's it. But it doesn't matter now. What I would say is, I should... what I would say I should do for a little background... I do take antipsychotics, good, and they work well to stave off the perils of the warp. I am in therapy specifically around schizophrenia, and this entire episode could also be chalked up to I'm just a massive asshole or a bit of a petulant man-child. The therapist is very good and knows me well. If there is something else you would like to know, please write to me. Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to say, on the flip side of this, dude, again, a lot of your issues seem to be anchored in self-hatred. I'm not good enough, and when you lose a game of Warhammer badly, that feeling of I'm not good enough attacks you with such virulence and strength that the only response you have is to lash out and say it's somebody else's fault. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not a healthy way to be. I'm sure you will agree. That's not a healthy way to be. Let me take a quick sip of tea before I carry on. Alright. Feel free to show this to your therapist as well, don't mind. See if they agree. But for me, what you've written to me, it seems like self-loathing is huge in here. Okay? And it is buried in deep. And when you get a reinforcer to that self-loathing, you're so hurt and deeply scarred, you know, that your response is to say, hey, the other people at this event, it's their fault for not telling me what my rules are. I think that was our main discrepancy, wasn't it, in your previous Hobby Nightmare. I said it's not other people's responsibility to make sure that you're reading your rules correctly or that you've gotten your rules right. Yeah? And you latched onto that when you went home. You didn't latch onto that because you're an arsehole. Again, your self-loathing is coming out. You're not an arsehole. You didn't latch onto that because you're an arsehole. Okay? You latched onto that as an excuse because it hurt you so deeply. losing those 5 games in one day hurt you so deeply. That's where the issue was. And just like most men, like myself, you weren't brave enough to say, wow, I'm really hurt. That really hurt me, right? Now, you don't need to sit down and cry. You don't need to wallow. You just need to accept that that's how that made you feel. Then you get on with your day, right? That's what you're supposed to do. It's not always that simple or that easy. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go, okay, that really hurt. I'm going to acknowledge those feelings. And then what can I do about it from here? Well, the best thing to do is not to destroy your army, but to read your army book, and get better. Right? You do smaller games in other areas. Play smaller games to get used to the rules, to train, to get better. And then, when you feel ready, go back to the event. But go back to the event knowing that, hey, as long as I make better plays, as long as I play the game better, I don't care whether I win or lose. As long as I put in a better showing, fuck what the dice do. Fuck what the dice do, I don't care. And fuck what my opponent does. As long as I play my army and my army book to the most I think it can be played, mistakes and all, I'm happy with my performance and I've had a good time. Right? That's the correct response to this trauma. The incorrect response was smashing up your own army because somehow it's going to get back at the people who did this, who beat you at this tournament. And why would you bother with any of this anyway if it's gonna make you feel this way and you've just lost all these 5 games? You wasted all your time, right? These are the actions of a child. And you are right in what you say. It's petulant. You are right. That's a very good word that you use there, petulant. You're clearly very self-aware. The problem is, again, Yeet, Purty, you're coming to the wrong conclusions. Your conclusion is, I'm an arsehole and I'm petulant. No, that is your self-loathing talking. Your actions were ones of a petulant arsehole, yes. But you are not a petulant arsehole. You are somebody with such vast self-loathing that as soon as you get a reinforcer to those feelings, you're hurt to the point that you act out this way. That's who you are, from what I've read. Alright? That's the difference. Your actions are petulant and arsehole-like, yes. But you yourself are not an arsehole or petulant. Your self-loathing is your Achilles heel. It's come across in your last email and in this one too. And as soon as anybody backs up those self-loathing feelings by actually beating you in a competitive game, you act out this way. That's why you need to take a break from competitive play and go and play some casual games to get used to your army, right? Realize it's a process, that kind of a thing. You know? You can't live your life this way, mate. I'll tell you that. Because life is full of setbacks. Full of them. They're everywhere. One thing my own journey over the last month or so has taught me, with this health scare going on, is that I'm actually a lot stronger than I thought I was. Like, I had no idea I had any of this in me, like, at all. Like, I didn't think I could stick to this. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're the same. As soon as you sit down and say, hey, I'm going to get better at Warhammer, I'm going to get better at this hobby, I'm going to, really chalk it up, I think you'll be fine. Anyway, so my questions are, should I apologise, and if to whom? Myself? Should I even apologise? Yes. Yeah, I think you should. To yourself. Not to anybody else. Nobody knows. You can't apologise to somebody else for destroying your own army. How should I approach this with my therapist? Should I try to get back into the old world? All the best, Pitch Rabo. Mate, do you know what I'd do? If you've got time, if they've got the time, play them the Hobby Nightmares. Played in the Hobby Nightmares. Like the one that you sent in last time, and this one. And have them read what you sent me. Alright, maybe tidy this one up because the vocab is all over the place. But like, have them read what you sent me and see what they think. See if they agree with me. They might not. But that's my opinion anyway. That's what I think you should do. Alright? I think you're on the right track, dude. What you're doing is you're uncovering, you're uncovering answers as you're moving along. And that's the main thing. That's what you should be doing. Uncovering answers. And you're on that journey. What you're not doing is you're not sitting in the hot water complaining that it's hot. That I have noticed in the second email, right? That I have noticed. The self-loathing is still there. We need to work on that. But you've stopped with the woe is me. And now it is, okay, how do I fix this? How do I find solutions to this? Good on you. And best of luck in your journey. And do message me on Discord. We'll have a little chat, alright? Alright, moving on. Therapist, you can now switch off the voice of North. Alright. It's Twitch. I was going Twitch. He says, hi again, North. Twitch here. Not the streaming platform. That would be really weird. The whole streaming platform. It is I, Twitch. I had this email before Twitch was even a thing. The guy who was too self-conscious to play Warhammer at the game store is me. I have to say, you sent me straight with that one. While I haven't been to the game store for a game yet, it is for unrelated reasons. Mostly that I recently became a father. Congratulations to Twitch. And have my hands full adjusting to our new life with a little one. That's a hell of an excuse, dude. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You do you. You be a dad. Do some man shit. Good on you. Anyway, today is not too much of a nightmare, but the story of how I gave away my sister's hand in marriage. Oh! Okay. To give some background, my sister does not have a relationship with our father due to a long and tumultuous history between them. As a result, I am the oldest male family member that she respects, and she let her boyfriend know that it was my approval he needed to ask before they could get married. Yeah, lads. If you want to marry your missus, okay, I'm very like this. You need to go and ask the father first, right? And if there is no father around, you need to go to a closest male relative that she's close with and ask them. It will mean the absolute world to them. They will always say yes. Unless you're a dick, but like, they will always say yes. And it means the world to them that you asked. It really does set you off on the right foot. It does. As an aside, there were never any real stakes. She is a grown woman who can make her own decisions, but it was very polite of the lad to come to me regardless. I had always joked that in order to win her hand in marriage, any potential suitor would have to beat me in a game of Warhammer. So my sister and her boyfriend came to visit for the Thanksgiving weekend here in America. They knew we would be playing a match before they left. Oh my god. Don't tell me he lost. You were like, I rescind my permission. Leave this property at once. Well, after he and I had an actual man-to-man chat while working in the yard, dude, that is the most American thing ever. Hey son, we're gonna go do some work in the yard. We're gonna have a man-to-man. Yeah, dude, like, I did this. I'm British and I had to do this. You go with your father-in-law, or the father of your girlfriend at the time, and you go do some work in the yard. And he takes your measure. That's what he does. He takes your measure. He looks you up and down. He's very polite, And you talk about life. You talk about how you're going to fix what you're fixing. So me and my ex-fiance's dad built a step together. Like with bricks and stuff. We did that. And the girl I saw over there after that, I think we did some gardening. Just did some random gardening, basically. We did it in the back garden. And we're just, chilling out, but also like doing a bit of trimming, weeding, things like that. Not in a good way. But yeah, you will always end up with your other half's father doing some yard work. This is a uniquely American thing. It doesn't really happen in the UK. We're too awkward for this. But in the US, it is. They don't even ask you to do it. It's just expected. They just go, okay, well, you're going outside with Dad now. Goodbye. So, okay, cool. All right. Anyway. Well, after he and I had an actual man-to-man chat while working in the yard, and he gave me a nice bottle of whiskey as a gift, out came the models. Dude, you're already letting him marry your sister. He's giving you he's bought you with some booze. I gave him a brief breakdown and rundown of the armies I have. Craftworld Eldar, Demons of Tzeentch, and OPR Saurians. He chose the Eldar, and I went with my Saurians. By most game standards, it was a pretty janky game, to be honest. We set up the knickknacks, a few of my wife's candles and plastic cups on the table as terrain, set out refrigerator magnets as objective markers, and eyeballed deployment zones. I gave him a brief introduction of how to play OPR, which is blessedly simple to teach, and pulled up his army list on his phone for him. Now, my Eldar are my pride and joy. They were my first army, and I have learned all of the painting techniques I know by painting them. By far the most time I've spent on any of my models. So, I loaded him up with the aspect warriors I'm most proud of. My lizard men are more of a for fun project, the type of thing I try wacky painting ideas on just for the hell of it. None of them have any bases yet, and I have only the most basic units ready for the tabletop, not to mention, while Grimdark Future and Age of Fantasy can theoretically be played in the same game, it doesn't always work out. All that to say, he absolutely smoked me, North. I wasn't even mad, though. By the end, he was smiling, saying, "This game is really fun," and we shook hands as he took 4 of the 5 objectives with only a handful of warriors holding out on my side. My sister wandered over and jokingly said, "So, can we get married now?" Anyway, not a hobby nightmare, but a funny story about how my sister's boyfriend won her hand in marriage over a game of OPR. All the best to you and your family this holiday season, and best of luck with your surgery. Twitch. Cheers, man. Yeah, dude, like, that a really heartwarming story. Like, one I want to end the episode on. That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Ending Learning. So, I will be back tomorrow with some Ultramarines, an Ultramarine video on Ultramarine fatigue. It is not about Ultramarine hatred. I do not hate Ultramarines, but it is about the phenomenon of fatigue, why people are tired of them. So I'll see you tomorrow for that video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you either over the weekend or on Monday. Alright, have a good one. Bye now.